In this video today, we're going to talk about your team. Your team is super important, and today we're specifically going to talk about the loan officer, the lender that you are working with. I'm going to go through a bunch of things to look for so that you can tell whether your lender and loan officer is not only an expert in loans, but also an expert in customer service. The first thing that you can look for is how responsive they are. Do they answer their phone? Do they text you back? Do they answer calls? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not always answering every call I get, and that's because a lot of times I'm on the phone with somebody else. But I will always shoot you a text that basically says, hey, I'll call you right back. Sometimes I even have calls line up, and I have 3 to 4 people I have to call back when I get off the phone. But a loan officer who's not answering your texts, answering your calls, I personally don't think that loan officer is someone who deserves your business. I would absolutely recommend working with someone who is responsive, and you can kind of tell this when you are in the pre-approval process. How fast are they getting back to you? If it takes them a week or more to get pre-approval done when you have sent them everything, it might be time to look for someone else. The next thing I would say is, does the loan officer explain things that you need to know? We're going to talk more about this. Do they explain loan types? Do they explain your closing costs? Do they explain your down payment? I mean, back to loan types, do they break down conventional? Do they break down FHA? Even if you have great credit, even if you have 5% down, FHA might actually be a cheaper option for you. It does happen. There are some niche instances where you're not getting some of the conventional loan incentives, even though you have great credit, and an FHA loan is actually much cheaper for you. I've done that for a few clients, shown them everything side by side, and when they take a look at the numbers for themselves, they decide, man, FHA loan makes more sense. Do they break down your monthly payment? Do they give you a breakdown of your homeowner's insurance, explaining that it's an estimate? Do they explain the estimated taxes? Do they explain, here's about where your monthly payment's going to be? This is what expert loan officers do. They break down your closing costs for you. They break down your monthly payments. They get your pre-approval done quickly. Back to the pre-approval process. Does your loan officer get all of your documents up front? Now you might say, Andrew, I don't want to send them all my stuff. I'm not ready for that yet. Here is my argument against that. When I write you a pre-approval letter, I am telling you that we're taking this to the bank. We're going to get this done. This is my word. This is my company's word on letterhead that if you need me to, we're going all the way to closing. I'm not going to give you that unless I've pulled your credit, unless I've seen your bank statements, unless I've seen your taxes, your pay stubs, whatever is needed for your income type. I am going to do all of my work up front. One of the things my team does is we close loans fast. Part of closing loans fast is getting all the documents that I can possibly get up front from you. So if you want to work with an expert loan officer, make sure that they are getting all the documents up front. If the loan officer ever says, don't really worry about that, I don't need, your pay stubs, or I don't need your W-2s, or I don't need your taxes, ask them why. It might be that it's not needed on this specific loan type, and that's okay. But if they're not doing a thorough underwritten pre-approval, I don't know if they're an expert. Now let's talk about the structure of the loan, interest rates, stuff like that. So you can structure your loan differently. You can take more in costs to get a better rate. You can roll those costs into the loan. You don't have to be tied into one thing if you're working with someone who knows and has the flexibility to structure your loan differently. It might not make a massive difference, but you need to be working with someone who knows how to do down payment assistance loans, who knows FHA, knows conventional, knows how to see if you qualify for a USDA loan, because those loans are awesome. Most loan officers just write you a pre-approval letter, put you in a conventional loan, nice and easy. Don't change anything. Don't have these conversations. And that's where, again, you're losing out on what's best for you and your family because you're not working with someone who's a professional. The final two things I'm going to talk about is first your interest rate and then the loan officer's communication and relationship with you as you go through the process. So first off, a lot of loan officers will tell you you're getting a great interest rate. I would challenge you to ask them to show you. Show me other interest rates. Show me that I'm getting a great interest rate, because it's really hard to know with the landscape. You can do a little bit of digging yourself on the internet, but I would challenge them, show me why my interest rate is a good rate. The second thing I would challenge you with is, does your loan officer communicate with you throughout the process? A lot of loan officers have teams, have processors, have loan partners that are working behind the scenes to help close your loan. I am all for that. That is great. A great expert loan officer needs someone following behind him, double checking his work, and helping loans get closed faster. That being said, a good loan officer will still communicate with you on a weekly basis throughout the process. I call all of my clients on Tuesdays, give them an update, and a great loan officer is going to communicate with you every step of the way. I never want to be a loan officer who's just going to give you an interest rate and then call it a day. My job is not just at the front. I walk through every step of the process with you. I show up to closing, meet with you, and my goal is to be a loan officer or a loan advisor for you for the rest of your life. And that is what you want in an expert loan officer. I hope today that this has been helpful. I hope it's been informative. I hope you've learned a little bit about what makes a great loan officer. If you have questions, you can always email or message me. In our next video, we're going to break down buy downs, discount points, and loan origination fees, that column A section. It should be really helpful and informative for you. As always, I'm Andrew. I explain loans, and I hope you have a better day than me.